Hey everybody, ChristopherOdd here. Welcome back to my walkthrough for the bridge. We're currently on Chapter 2, Mirrored. And once again, a reminder that Chapter 2 and Chapter 2 Mirrored aren't just everything in reverse. It's actually quite a bit different. So we're gonna head into the first part of Chapter 2 Mirrored, which is Mirrored Vortex. This one's not too bad. It's a little bit finicky with positioning. There may be a couple of ways to solve it, but I'll show you the one that's probably the most efficient. So first thing you want to do is drop into the receptacle here. I don't know why I would go with that word of all the other ones I could choose, but that's what I'm choosing. And then you're going to drop down and grab the key. We're very close, so you just have to angle it a little bit. Now I'm going to continue to walk and rotate to the right. Now right here, if you rotate to the right, the ball on the left is going to come flying at you, and the other ball is going to go up. But that's actually okay. We should be able to beat the ball, and we'll be at the door. So rotate right, the other ball should get out of the way, and then there we go. Solved. This is Chapter 2, Mirrored, Part 2, called Mirrored Precipice. And this is a whole new mechanic right now, which is awesome about this game. I love that even in the mirrored chapters, they didn't just stick to the same old mechanics, they actually implemented new things. So, as you can see, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 doors plus a locked one. And each of these doors actually triggers something. So for example, door 1 turns on the vortex, door 2 turns off the vortex, okay? There's also an invisible ball in the middle. Door 4 lets you go to door 3, and I can tell you from experience, door 3 turns the menace ball to visible. See how we did that? So, I'm gonna start this one over, and I'll show you how to actually do it. I just wanted to introduce the concept for people that aren't watching this as a walkthrough. Okay, so, here's what you need to do. First thing, you want to go to door number 4. That's gonna open up door number 3 and obviously the locked door. Then we're gonna go to door number 3. First, we're gonna get the ball out of the way. There we go. Because door number 3 makes that ball visible. Okay? Then we're gonna go to door number 5. Now what that did, if you didn't notice, door number 5 actually turned on the button at the bottom. And it made the ball invisible. So now we can fall down to the button. There we go. And that drops the key, but the key is still invisible. So we need to figure out how to make that happen. So now I'm gonna get the ball onto the other side of door 3. And we're gonna go 3, and then 1, which should open up the key. There we go. See how we did that? Then we're gonna go into 2, and then we're gonna go into 4, which turns on the door at the bottom. And that's how it's done. So this one took me quite a while because I didn't notice when you went to door 5 that the button became visible. So I was like going back and forth. It was pretty tough, but finally figured it out, thank Christ. Okay, this is Mirrored Chapter 2, Part 3, called Mirrored Lion. This one is pretty wild. So, let me try to show you as best as I can recall. Okay, so this puzzle is basically all about really precise positioning and really precise movements. Although it may take a couple of times, stick with it and you will get it. So, first thing we want to do is move this bottom ball out of the way. And we want to stick our head out of the veil so that we can make some movements with that middle ball. And as you can see here, we're kind of sliding because the way the gravity's working in the veil. And we want to create enough room, I'm just going back and forth here. We want to create enough room so that we can slide under that ball. That's the goal, under that middle ball. So we might need to get as close as possible to this top ball. And we just got under there. So the way I did that, I kind of walked towards that menace ball near the door as I was rotating to the left so that we could just get enough clearance underneath that middle ball. Now, here comes the tricky part. We gotta get back. And that, my friends, is not easy, okay? So, same kind of idea, except that we really need to get that menace ball by the door into the veil. So I'm gonna just rotate just enough. I can't seem to get it from here. That's okay. So I'm gonna walk just into the veil. So I have control. Oops. Walk just inside. And then rotate. So that I can get that bottom menace ball as far away from the door as possible. Now it's not gonna stay there, but this will put us in a position where we can keep it as far away as possible, because what we actually need to do is we need to slide underneath this top menace ball between the other ones and then land near the door. I know, it's a little bit crazy. So I think if we rotate this so that that top menace ball is as high up as possible, we should be okay. Now I'm gonna come out, I'm gonna rotate as far as I can, and I'm gonna basically, oh. No, it wasn't far enough away. Let's go back in, let's rotate it even more. You need it so that when you start going back in, you can slide under the top one and between the two at the bottom. So you want to create pretty much a steep slope. So we're gonna rotate to the right, and we're gonna kind of fly down there. See, now I hit that thing. So at this point, you can kind of reverse and then adjust your trajectory mid-flight, which I had to do a few times when I first did it, and as I'm having to do here. Not quite. So if we go back to this point, we'll just adjust our trajectory a little bit. Nope. And this is what you gotta do, like, it's really tough to nail these all the time, but once you do, at least you'll have the theory. There, I think we might have it. Oh, so close. So just right about there, we want to start rotating back and catch ourselves. So, a little bit crazy, I know, and having to explain it while I'm doing it is, I hope I'm being clear enough, but there we go. Okay, chapter 2 mirrored, part 4 mirrored pillars. Let's have at it. What's that? New mechanic, that's right. So, this one's actually fairly simplistic, but you can get yourself messed up if you don't get it right from the first try and you have to kind of start over. So, here's what you need to do. Just rotate to the right. Just keep going. Basically what happens, the way you control these two guys, they mirror each other. We gotta touch both keys at the same time, so there we go. See that? Now, we're gonna go back to the left. So our bottom guy's at the door, that's great. Our top guy's going to be at the door. Now we're gonna walk him to the right. There we go. So, when you have these two guys, if you walk to the right, they both go to the right. If you walk to the left, they both go to the left. And, you're gonna see these guys coming up a few times. If there's two keys, you gotta get them at the same time, not one then the other. And same with doors. So there you go. This is chapter 2 mirrored, part 5 mirrored mausoleum. Now, this one kind of takes advantage of you a little bit. Normally, every time you see a veil, you just kind of head straight for that and you want to manipulate things, right? But you'll notice that that veil doesn't actually manipulate anything. You don't see that weird little pattern going around on anything. The only thing available to us is this ball, right? So what we're gonna actually do is we're gonna get that ball, the menace ball, to go into the veil, okay? And I like to just kind of stay as close to it as possible. It doesn't really matter, I guess. You can kind of fall wherever you want, but we're gonna get it to fall right into the middle of the veil section there. Perfect. That just gives us some room to maneuver so we can get out of the ball's way, because at the end of the day, that ball needs to come back to the button. So now that we're down underneath the ball, okay, now all we have to do really is rotate the ball into the button. So the ball is out. We can keep going. Keep rotating. Now we don't want to fall into the veil because then we can't rotate, right? So we're gonna keep the ball going around until we're in this position, and then you guessed it, that ball's gonna hit the button, and it's gonna open the door that's inside the veil. We're gonna go into the veil, and we're gonna get the hell out of Dodge. All right, this is Chapter 2 Mirrored, Part 6 Mirrored, Memorial. Okay, so by now, when you're looking at this, you should be able to tell a couple of key things, no pun intended, as to where to start when you're approaching these puzzles. So as an example, okay, you know that the button will control the vortex. So if I were to rotate and put the bottom guy into the vortex, I'm screwed. I can't get the other guy to that button because it's on the other side of the vortex. You catch my drift? So we know the first thing that we need to do is move our top guy into the vortex. Okay? Now, we're gonna rotate to the left and put our next guy on the button. Now, this part's a little bit tricky, so we're gonna hit the button here, and you're gonna see if I move left, they both move left. If I move right, they both move right, okay? What we need to do is we need to get both people to the key, but the trick is you wanna just walk off and grab the key, but as soon as you walk off this, the vortex turns back on. It'll suck up the second guy, okay? So what we actually wanna do is we wanna I can't even talk. We wanna manipulate this in a way where our bottom dude gets to the farthest key, and then we can just fall down and grab that key on the edge. Right? Yeah, it's not that easy. So, what we need to do is we need to slant this in such a way where we can still kind of walk on that button, but it'll be just slanted enough so that the bottom guy starts to fall. See how we're doing this? I'm just holding to the right, but the bottom guy keeps falling. The top guy is getting that edge, so it actually kind of works out pretty well. And now what's gonna happen, I'm going to try to fall down. Oh, we gotta slant it again so he starts sliding. I wanna fall down right on the edge so I can grab that key. And the placing is pretty precise. Oh, you can't touch each other either. That's the trouble part, right? Okay. He can actually go into the vortex, and that's fine. But he's got to walk off just right so that he falls into the vortex. Oh, get in there. There we go. I hope that was clear, but it's pretty finicky. Now, obviously, we're gonna rotate this guy to the button. That's not a big surprise at this point. Okay, now we're gonna walk to the right. We're gonna rotate hard until we have the guy on the left now at the door. And now I can exit in both doors. Cool. So I'll read you the little headstone at the end here. My colleagues suspect something. If they only knew the depth of our work, maybe then we'd be free of this shame. And yet no. I fear they'd cast us out as heretics, like the great Galileo. So that's it. Thanks everybody. Please rate the video, and I'll talk to you next time.